Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today into a stack of source material that focuses on a topic that, well, it might seem hyper-local at first,
Mm.
but it holds some really universal lessons.
hmm
We're talking about specialized construction in high-risk weather zones.
Right. And our case study for this is a contractor in the Heartlands, a company called Roofing Council Bluffs, LFL.
Exactly. And for anyone listening who lives where the weather just gets violent, tornadoes, massive hail.
Or those 100-degree summers that bake everything.
Yeah. For you, the difference between just a generic roofer and a true local specialist could be, well, it's the difference between a minor repair and total structural failure.
And that's our mission today, isn't it? To get past the marketing language, the Iowa tough craftsmanship, and really analyze what it means to engineer something for the Midwest climate.
The listener who sent these sources in, they want to understand the accountability. When you need a new roof after a big storm, how do you actually verify that the contract you hire is permanent
That they're licensed.
and that they're truly equipped to handle the next disaster, not just the last one?
It's all about local commitment in a really volatile environment. We're going to look at their claims, their structure, and get into why certain certifications and technical details are, frankly, non-negotiable for protecting your property in that region.
Okay, so let's start with their roots, their geographic footprint. The company is locally owned, operated right there in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Yeah, and their stated mission is all about protecting properties from the toughest weather conditions.
But they don't just stay in Council Bluffs, do they? They cover a huge territory.
No, they don't. And that's interesting. They project this identity as a permanent fixture of the community, built on trust and honest communication. The vision is to be the regional standard setter.
But the volatility of the storms there means they have to be mobile, massively mobile.
That's the key. So if they're hyper-local to Council Bluffs, which is in Pottawatomie County,
How far can they really travel and still guarantee that local accountability factor? That's a good question.
well, the source material shows they cover the whole Omaha Council Bluffs metro area. So that means going right across the Missouri River into Nebraska.
Douglas and Sarpy counties, right?
Exactly. But then they also go as far west as Lincoln and way up north in Iowa to Sioux City and even east to Des Moines.
So into Polk County as well. That is a huge spread.
It really is.
So their definition of local isn't just one town. It's the entire weather-battered regional hub.
Which suggests they're set up for massive simultaneous storm response, which, that lines up with the reality of Midwest weather patterns. It's not about being on the next street over.
It's about being geared up to respond quickly to a catastrophic event pretty much anywhere in that whole region.
It requires a mobile cross-state infrastructure. Absolutely.
Okay, so they've established this massive reach, but reach is useless without the right toolkit, the right specializations. So what are the key services they're offering in this really challenging market? We pulled out 6 core pillars.
They cover the whole spectrum. You've got the essentials like roof repair for storm damage and leaks,
The basics.
and standard roof installation for new construction, all following local codes. But then you get into the specialized stuff, the things driven by climate necessity.
Let's talk about the materials, because the sources push 2 specific high-durability options very hard. First up is metal roof installation.
Right. And they position that as the ultimate choice for durability in the Midwest. They're claiming a 50-plus year lifespan.
50 years. Plus resistance to fire, high winds, and hail. That's the premium long-term play.
It is. But for most homes, for residential jobs, it's going to be asphalt shingle installation.
And here the sources get really specific. They focus on Class 4 impact-resistant shingles.
Yes. And this is where the cost-benefit analysis for you, the homeowner, gets really interesting.
Explain that, because Class 4 just sounds like industry jargon to most people. What does impact resistance actually mean for a homeowner in Iowa?
It's the highest rating you can get for protection against hail. Shingles that are rated Class 4 are tested by, well, they drop a 2-inch steel ball onto them.
A steel ball?
Yeah.
From how high?
From 20 feet up. And the shingles have to show no cracking.
Wow.
But here's the key insight for consumers, the part that's often missed. In hail-prone areas like the Midwest, insurance companies often give you a significant discount on your premiums if you install Class 4 materials.
How significant are we talking?
Sometimes 15, even up to 30%. So that higher initial cost can actually pay for itself over just a few years in reduced insurance costs alone.
That completely changes the calculation. It's not a luxury. It's almost a mandated necessity that actually saves you money.
It's a huge takeaway, absolutely. And beyond materials, their service list also includes roof replacement, where they focus on energy efficiency, and this is crucial gutter installation.
Right, because they don't treat gutters as just an add-on.
No, it's an essential part of the weatherproofing system. They talk about seamless systems to prevent the kind of foundation damage you see from that heavy Midwestern rainfall.
Okay, now let's talk about certified excellence. They mentioned being a GAF certified and Owens Corning preferred contractor. Why does that matter to the customer?
It all comes down to the warranty. A non-certified roofer can usually only offer a basic manufacturer's warranty, maybe 10, 15 years.
And it's often prorated, right?
Exactly. The payout decreases over time. But when a contractor is certified by a huge brand like GAF or Owens Corning, they get access to these advanced non-prorated system warranties. We're talking up to 50 years. And they cover not just the material.
But the labor in the whole installation system.
Precisely. It means the manufacturer is basically putting their stamp of approval on the quality of that local installation crew.
Which is vital when you're talking about the kind of stress that extreme weather puts on a roof.
It ties their local skills directly to a national standard of quality and protection.
I'm really intrigued by the specific engineering claims here. It's not just harsh weather. They focus on the unique challenges of the Missouri River Valley climate. This is where it gets really interesting for me. What are these systems actually built to survive?
They name the threats directly. The systems are built for 100-mile-per-hour plus winds.
Which is bordering on hurricane level strength.
It is, plus heavy and frequent hail cycles. And they even mention the unique challenge of low cells humidity, which can impact the longevity of the materials.
Let's challenge that 100-mile-per-hour claim for a second. That's a very high, very specific standard. Do the sources give any clue how they achieve that kind of wind resistance beyond just the shingle itself?
They do. They emphasize the full system approach. So it's not just the shingle. It's the specialized underlayment, the sealant, and the 6-nail or sometimes even 8-nail per shingle installation pattern that's often required for those high wind warranties.
So the claim implies their installation methods are way above standard practice.
That's the only way to meet those severe demands.
And this brings us right to the issue of accountability versus storm chasers. This is a massive issue in the Midwest after any big weather event.
It's the central point of their argument. A storm chaser rolls in after a disaster, undercuts local quotes, often uses cheaper materials.
And then they're gone before the first warranty claim even comes in.
Exactly. This company's whole identity is based on being a permanent Council Bluffs-based member of the community. When you're dealing with a system designed for 100-mile-an-hour winds, you need a guarantee that the installer will actually be there next year to honor that warranty.
Not just a temporary phone number.
Right.
And that accountability, it extends to regulatory stuff too. They mention adhering to local codes, and they specifically reference the Pottawatomie County building regulations for 2026.
Yes.
Why mention future regulations?
That detail is so crucial. It communicates foresight. It means they aren't just installing to meet today's minimum standard. They're installing roofs that are effectively future-proofed against known upcoming code changes.
So for the listener, this ensures the roof you pay for today will still be fully legal, safe, and insurable years down the road.
Without needing expensive modifications when new standards kick in, it's a big deal.
And just for context, Council Bluffs is this historic gateway between the Midwest and the Great Plains. It sits right across the river from Omaha.
It's a major hub for logistics, healthcare.
Right, where I-29 and I-80 meet. So it's a strategic spot that sees a ton of intense weather movement.
A critical nexus of commerce and harsh weather. So the infrastructure, especially the roofs, it just has to be robust.
Okay, moving into the logistical fine print. If I'm the homeowner, what are the crucial details that protect me during the project?
The number one protection is liability. The source stresses they're fully registered with the state of Iowa. But crucially, they carry comprehensive workers' comp and multi-million-dollar general liability insurance.
How much liability?
$2 million. And this is vital because it explicitly protects you, the homeowner, 100% from any liability if an accident happens on your property. You are completely shielded.
That is a fundamental safety net that, well, it should be standard. But it often gets overlooked until there's a problem.
For sure. And then there's the project timeline.
Right, minimizing disruption.
They claim most residential roof replacements get done efficiently, within just 1 to 2 days, depending on the size. And before that, they provide these detailed, honest inspections and no obligation estimates.
So there's transparency from the start.
That seems to be the goal.
Let's connect that local knowledge back to the insurance claim process. When everyone in Omaha and Council Bluffs gets hit by the same hailstorm, why would using a hyperlocal contractor actually speed up your claim?
Because the local experts speak the local language of the insurance adjusters. They know how to provide the detailed photo documentation and the local repair estimates that adjusters need for rapid processing.
So they know the regional material costs.
Exactly. And they know what the insurance company's baseline expectation is for damage in Pottawatomie County versus, say, Polk County. That specialized knowledge just cuts through all the red tape and the long queues that happen after a big storm.
That efficiency during a crisis is worth a lot. And finally, what's the critical advice they give for roof longevity in that region?
The maintenance mandate is strict, which just reinforces how serious the climate is. They recommend a professional inspection at least once, maybe even twice, per year.
And they specify the timing, right?
They do, before the spring hail season hits and after the final winter snow. It's a proactive approach to catch those small cracks and displacements caused by freeze-thaw cycles before they become major leaks.
And based on the client feedback and the sources, what was the thing that ultimately stood out to customers?
It was consistent. Professionalism, clear communication, quick response times after a storm. But the real key thread was the detailed explanation of the process.
So making sure the homeowner understood why they needed Class 4 shingles.
Exactly. Or why specialized ventilation was necessary for their specific home. It lines up perfectly with their whole commitment to technical excellence.
So what does this all mean? If we synthesize this deep dive, the overwhelming lesson seems to be that in these high-weather zones, like the Missouri River Valley, roofing isn't just a repair job. It's a highly technical specialization.
It's dictated by environmental necessity. It's the convergence of materials science and geography. Quality roofing there requires certified materials, GAF, Owens Corning, Class 4 impact resistance, and uncompromising local code knowledge.
Like those Pottawatomie County regulations.
Right. The entire operational structure, from their multi-county spread to that $2 million insurance policy, it's all defined by the threat of extreme weather.
It's that technical and logistical robustness that separates the permanent fixture from the temporary solution.
Indeed. And this all raises a final question for you, the listener, to think about. Given everything we've discussed today, this emphasis on systems engineered for 100-mile-per-hour winds and Class 4 impact resistance, how should the regional necessity for these robust premium materials fundamentally change your long-term expectations for roof longevity and maintenance schedules, especially when you compare it to a milder climate?
That's a great point. If your roof is built to withstand this serious repeating assault from nature, what's the realistic trade-off between that high initial cost, the insurance savings, and the demanding inspection schedule you need to keep those extreme warranties valid?
What does Class 4 impact resistance truly entail for you over the long run?
That's definitely something worth mulling over.
Absolutely.
That's it for this deep dive into local accountability and Midwest climate engineering. We hope this has given you the insights you were looking for.
Until next time.